Alright then.
Hello everybody, we're the Jaded Table, and this is Fury.
Desktop.
Yeah, desktop! I, right, copyright.
Banned.
Videos immediately banned.
And this is what happens when an upstart YouTube channel decides to get their hands on the wrong words.
Yeah, Jaded Desktop. So,
What are you
anyway.
talking about? It's all the right words. Oh, also, we're playing Fury.
Yeah, no, more like
He's playing
no,
Fury.
no, to be accurate, I played Fury, and this is the recording of it. And we're gonna talk over it.
Double god. Yeah, and apparently you told me before we started that you did this over for play.
Yeah. So, which I mean, it isn't really much of a problem until like the later episodes, where like sometimes like at certain points the graphics are just gonna decide to go ahead and just glitch out.
Just be all
But for about like 5 or 10 seconds, and then it'll be back to normal.
Okay, so it won't be that bad.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, it isn't that bad.
let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah, Legon. Legon, whatever you want to call me. Everybody says my name differently.
I mean, there's Legion, there's Lego Man, there's Lego Team.
There's also my independent channel, but we're not self-advertising.
Well then, I'm Sarah. Also, some people know me as Jack. Hi, nice to meet you.
And I am Jeffy, or Jehudi, or you know.
Or that mech from that one game that nobody played.
Or that one child who screams Selvies over and over again.
You mean Zone of the Enders?
No, yes, exactly. Zone of the Enders. By the way, that person fell and got a sword. That's a
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. By the way,
When you
that's
fall over
by the
your
way.
face, the sword drops out. That's logical. Just like everything else in this game.
Okay, so I wanted to point this out earlier when we were going through introductions. That guy with the fucking faces creeps me the hell out.
Which faces? Oh, the boss.
Like just the white.
The
just
three
fucking-
faces.
Oh yeah, that guy's the boss.
Oh, lucky you already got the first boss out of the way.
By the way,
So just for
this
reference,
this game is kind of a boss rush game.
I would assume
okay, so just for reference, me and Legan have played and beaten this game.
Jyoti
Jyoti
has not. So this is gonna be fun.
I'll end up looking up TV tropes later, but they all are actually going to be solid.
So, I'm guessing a majority of this commentary is going to be me and him commenting on strategies and ways that this went down, and Jyoti is going to wonder what the fuck's going on.
Oh no, I'm just gonna have a notebook handy and write things down.
I need to take notes on this specific trope.
And I'm probably gonna point out the fact that our crazy mask guy's back again.
And he just activated the alarm, so everybody knows we escaped.
So wait, are we heading down into Earth or planet?
Yeah, we're trying to escape.
We must kill the jailer. He told us this.
No, yeah, the guy with the bunny mask, who is like the game classifies like what he's called the voice out because he's like your voice of reason, like why you're here, what you're gonna be doing. So right now, and now the boss has started. This is basically the tutorial. Those projectiles he's shooting, you can shoot them to nullify them and basically prevent them from doing anything.
Most fights in this game.
And here you see me messing up because remote play.
Oh, it's already begun.
Let's see. So,
Yeah, I can't even parry right.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, when I did Final Fantasy 15, we ever loved it before I got an actual PS4. We have like what, 2 seconds?
So something that you're gonna see me doing a lot, like immediately after I parry like 2 or 3 attacks from the boss, I'm gonna immediately attack back. That is a strategy that I don't recommend doing your first time, because then like at that point you won't know what attacks, like how many attacks the boss is gonna do.
So just for reference, each battle takes place in different phases, and each phase has usually 2 different, what should I call them, stances?
2 different fighting styles, I'd say.
Styles, there you go.
One where you're in a
usually
more bullet
a
hell-esque
free
gameplay
roaming
style.
bowling hell arena, and the other where you're more in a one-on-one.
Close combat melee.
Right.
Right now what we're seeing is close combat.
Yeah, when you have that big blue circle.
Yeah, now we're just
Because it's a tutorial.
Well, the tutorial is teaching you how to use charge slash.
Charged attacks, actually, because you can charge everything except your actually what can't you charge?
You can charge everything. You can't charge for that though.
Yeah, you can. You can charge your dash, you can charge your melee attack, you can charge your laser, which, by the way, that's going to be really helpful for the final boss.
I'm assuming that, I noticed a little early, but I'm assuming that charged lasers will find enough shots.
Yes.
Yeah, they can
usually
block,
cancel out a line.
like, they can,
Now that I
actually,
think about it, in
like,
the,
okay, go ahead.
Sorry, another thing about it. In the bullet hell stage, can you slash your sword freely, or are you just
Yes, you
blocking?
can.
You can.
You can press the melee attack button whenever. I just wouldn't
It just lets
I would
that
just
know.
recommend trying to time it.
God, it's gone full
Oh, don't worry, this is just the
No,
beginning.
it's not even. This is not even the
This
worst
is
of it.
this is considered easy. Pathetically
Also-
easy.
Also, I feel like I will be we'll be kind of comparing our experiences on the first run through over this. But I'm sure this boss neither of us had any trouble with it.
I
mean, that's
like
kinda
I
the
think
point.
I had like a little bit of trouble my first time, but that was like only during my first time, like my very first time.
Yeah.
Like the first time I ever completed this game, I got a D rank.
Well, I mean, he looks like a pretty simplistic boss.
He's a tutorial guy, so you shouldn't have much trouble with him.
I mean, even my bullet hell save is really tricky.
Yeah. By the way, when you're comparing this to standard bullet hells, just wait till the third boss. I hate that guy.
I noticed that he had one like spiral pattern spam attack that looked like it would give some people shit, but it seemed bad.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
Like,
I'd
just,
say the
like,
worst
every-
thing,
yeah,
hardest
like,
thing
the
this game
only-
to get over is parry chains.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing to get over in this game, but you're gonna need it for, I think, the 8th boss? Yeah, the 8th boss.
Boss 7 and boss 8 probably.
Like,
That
those...
is how we were going to refer them as. was
Yeah,
because
because we don't know their actual names offhand. Like, this guy, I think this guy's called the Chain, which the name makes no sense.
Oh Jesus Christ! I just noticed that the remote play shut the bed for a second. like everything went into cleaning hell for a second.
Yeah, you're gonna see that quite a few times.
Sure. Does it get worse or better?
Uh,
Probably worse.
In some points it gets worse, but it doesn't last as long.
Okay, so I've noticed that the bosses have this pretty decently big hit bar. You look like you just have.
You
I have...
squares.
Yeah, I have little pieces of health. That guy has a full HP bar.
At least the game's kind enough to refill the weapon beyond the fade.
Yeah,
It refills you
it-
between
it,
phases,
like,
between
so-
deaths, and every time you get a perfect parry, it gives you a bit of health back.
No, every time you just parry normally, you get a bit of health back. Like a half a HP piece.
Do you ever do like a plain safe strategy where you just kind of let the boss try to slash you to get health back?
When
Or-
they can, I try
I
and do
usually
that.
In melee phases, it's kind of how I dealt with boss 5. Because I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
melee strikes from him took about like almost half your bar.
Yeah, that guy's melee attacks take a lot of HP.
We'll get to him when we get to him.
Yeah, we'll get to him in the third part. But for now, this guy's just it's pretty simple to read patterns, and we're almost at the final phase, which is basically, I'm going to unleash everything I have at you, but at the same time, I'm also not going to take too many hits.
It's basically just a massive comprehension test.
It's basically testing your reaction time and stuff, and that's mainly that's the big thing that it's testing.
As fast as physically possible, because it'll easily keep up with where everything's at.
Yeah, and I failed to parry again because remote play. I was still getting used to it.
Failed parry, man.
Yeah.
How to
The amount of parries that
There
have
you
failed
go.
are about 3/4 of the entire hits that I've taken during this fight.
assuming that he's finally done with this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
kinda.
still gonna die really easily.
I'm assuming that this
Because this is really easy. The entire strategy for this part, shoot the bullets, and then just dash past the purple pinkish line. And then kill him.
point that I wanted to make. Can you slash the bullets?
No, you can't, but you can parry them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's not recommended on these slow bullets though.
On slow stuff like this, no, I wouldn't recommend it. And here I do a strategy that I regret immediately. Because I try moving to the side to avoid the lines that'll hurt me, but that also that's almost nearly impossible in areas like this.
I noticed you
And there I
noticed
just dash
videos
right
of
into the bullet.
The charge dash right afterwards.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a pretty simple thing to dodge. I just recommend dashing past the purple hollow ones that you can't, like those you can't shoot and nullify. And there, the dash button didn't work. And yeah, here remote play is messing up with my inputs.
First boss.
I do not die to this guy.
It's very uncommon to get like an actual.
See, he's
death
dead.
You
even
nearly
when I get over.
watching that.
Dude, I have,
Literally, you
dude,
dive into the other side.
dude, I have had much more clutch moments.
I'm pretty sure you have, but I'm just like, it really just screw you up that badly.
It does on the fifth boss, who I consider really easy when you know what to do, because like the easiest parts for me in this game are the melee phases.
Oh, we're already 10 minutes into this.
Yeah, yeah, this goes by really fast.
It's
Yeah. By the way, this game attempts to be cinematic, and that just fails miserably because the cape clipped through his arm.
Cape clip.
It wasn't just clipping
Alliteration.
through his arm, it was clipping through his entire sword and bouncing it for imaginary. It had a mind of its own.
Yeah, that's one of the major gripes I have with this game's graphics. Like they when they try to make cinematic cutscenes, they don't try and polish them.
Oh look, it's Donnie Darko again.
Oh yeah, the voice. Who holds his giant microphone.
His name is not Donnie Darko. That's what I'm reminded of, is that bunny from Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko Bunny.
Which, by the way, if we do movie commentaries, sometime
No, if we're doing movie commentaries, the first movie we do is Super Mario Brothers movie.
no,
Alright.
no, I can't say that.
Okay, then The Room.
Anyways, back
Point
on
aside, let's finish this one right in front of us.
Yeah, yeah. Let's finish this movie because this is
Oh, yeah,
practically
so
a
there was
movie.
boss there.
Yeah. That guy was a tutorial. I don't consider him a boss because he's that pathetic. Even though I nearly died to him. By the way, like you may be wondering, I'm walking away from the progression gate. That's because I'm going to show off a little Easter egg.
Oh, wait, is he still talking? Oh, it's...
Yeah, he gives you exposition. He's supposed to give you exposition while you're walking, like while you're talking to the gate. Yeah, while you're walking to the gate, and just going on to the next boss, like finishing thoughts. Or in this case, establishing thoughts because you're just starting.
Like the quiet moments in between each boss. But
Yeah.
I feel like they go on for way too long.
They go on, like, I think they go on a bit too long on repeated playthroughs. On your first playthrough, I think that they're just perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Now, right here's the Easter egg. Because, like, you go back right to where you were, and the game gives you a trophy for it. Of course, I've already gotten the trophy, so it doesn't show off here.
So what does it do? Oh. Let's just look at it.
I like this piece of dialogue. Take a good look at this place, because we're never coming back. That is true.
Break the fourth wall just a little bit. Oh, look, he's right there as well.
Are you ever just
Yeah,
gonna auto-walk
By
to
the way,
next
the
destination?
voice just teleports all the time, and also something that kind of eases my efforts with these like slow walking sequences. There's an auto walk button, so I can just
Okay,
press the
so that
button,
answers my
set down the
question.
controller.
I was asking if you do use the auto walk or something.
Yeah, I use it on repeated playthroughs. On the first playthrough, I did not use it because I was dumb.
Did you run into a wall then? Because
Well,
one of the things that did kind of annoy me about
yeah,
the whole camera
let's-
angle thing
yeah,
is
let's-
that it doesn't change your trajectory. It,
Like when you're
actually
pressing
still doing the same.
like let me explain. When you're pressing forward at this camera angle, you're still pressing the same direction while it switches camera angles, but it doesn't change the direction you're walking.
Basically, if you keep
And it
holding the
stays
drive,
that way
it
for
stays
every
your
single camera angle
trajectory.
shift.
So, basically, it's Resident Evil 1 syndrome.
Essentially,
In the
yeah.
next transition between bosses.
Yeah, except in that game it had tank controls. This game does not.
Okay, but like you'll see it most in like the transition from.
You'll
after this
no,
boss to
actually,
the next
actually,
one.
something you're gonna see really big, like with the auto walk thing. You're gonna see it in part 3, after the 5th boss, because something really funny happens there. I'm not gonna say what.
Yeah, but like like I think it would be most obvious with the transition from boss 2 to 3
Okay, I
because of how wonky those camera angles are.
Yeah, of course I just pushed the auto walk button.
His cape stopped having a mind of its own. Now it's frozen in time.
Yeah, I expect a lot of that.
Oh.
You can just do things.
Yeah, the hair and the cape, the things that are supposed to like flow, like the bunny, like the voice's little half cape thing on his arm. That clips out on one of the cutscenes.
Bug the hell out of me now.
Yeah, that will probably bug you for a while unless it's in motion, because then you're not really focusing on that. You're more focusing on the bosses.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now he's gonna offer exposition on the boss. So this boss is basically a prisoner, another prisoner like you who just got captured by these guardians, who are basically like the prison keepers. This boss is basically a woman, whatever, who has a giant laser face.
Giant laser fish. Look at my ex.
I am not a number. I have a name.
I will not be objectified.
You already have been.
Oh yeah,
No, actually, I'm actually gonna pull up Google really quick and see what the boss names are.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You know what? I could do that as well, but I've currently got this
I
game.
don't know. I feel like for you, it would kind of ruin the surprise of what the boss's whole thing is.
No, it doesn't really. Okay, this boss is called the Burst.
I mean, that's kind of the reason why I haven't I haven't jumped on TV tropes yet.
Yeah, the second
Just looking at this plan.
this boss is called the Burst. Oh wait, no, that's actually the wrong one. I was thinking.
Nice. I was about to make this witty comment about the burst. You know,
Okay.
What the attacks would be. Nice.
Where's?
I'm already guessing which one the burst is.
Okay, this one's called the Strap.
So we're gonna strap on this.
No,
Yeah.
but that is kind of an element in the design of the character.
Oh well, I'm glad to know that I'm not wrong.
You're slightly wrong, but you're also slightly right.
Also noticed that the voice following this run.
He will be doing that a lot.
I know you've mentioned. Oh god, the frame rate dropped. I know you've mentioned that he likes to top around constantly.
Yeah, he does.
It's becoming a game of worse than voice.
Where's the money man?
It's harder in the end.
Oh yeah, the game gets really hard for arbitrary reasons, which I'm gonna elaborate on that when we get to that
Oh,
point.
I'm talking about the game. I was talking about finding the voice for a second.
Where is the voice?
He's right there on the left of the camera,
Where in the world is Carmen?
Now he's gone.
and now he's gone because the camera's moved.
Okay, so I know you guys said that the game was giving these little reprieves between fights.
Right.
They seem a bit long, but they also seem justified, mainly due to the fact that you're probably on like this huge ass adrenaline high.
Yeah,
And you have to
that's
calm
fair.
down from
we
it.
discussed this, like, yes, on their first run, it's fine.
Yeah, but in repeated
But
playthroughs, when you
on
know what to
subsequent
expect.
runs, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, when you know what to expect, it's kind of boring.
Wish you had a run button.
Or just an auto walk button, which actually there is speedrun mode, which basically skips those segments. But I still would say like keep those segments, but make them shorter if there's like a sequel or a remake of this game.
His stupid hair. that is really bugging me right now. That his hair is just all over the place.
There's too much gel.
Oh god, he does have a strap on his face.
That's a she.
God, okay, now you're just
Excuse
making
me,
this.
that's a laser.
Now you're just making this worse, by the way.
Yeah, we've made this completely worse. I don't care.
Oh, but don't worry, this game is
So-
really bad.
I'd say on the first run, this boss, only like during the next half of her fight,
When
does she get
the fight
anywhere
changes
relatively
dramatically.
difficult.
Like the fight does like change rather intense, like it changes a lot in the fight. You're gonna see what I mean later on when I get into it's like the third phase. But for now, I'm just gonna dodge the lasers and attack. And there, the boss just completely missed me.
I was about to say, did you clip to the boss?
No, like you can actually make the boss completely miss you, and it offsets them for a second, but it will also offset you most likely. So it isn't something very reliable.
Okay, so I think I'm noticing that the area is also breached.
Yeah, all these obstructions in the area, they can be destroyed once you hit them a certain amount of times.
Okay, so the real question.
But that's the main gimmick with this boss.
Okay, so the real question is, what's this boss's strat other than hide behind pillars or dash in between after?
Mainly
That's
utilize
pretty much all she
utilize
wrote.
utilize the dash feature and avoid bullets. And
So this is gonna teach you the dash feature.
mainly.
Oh god, she's really trying to make it close to her.
I'd say this boss is like the actual easiest with parry chains.
This is actually a boss that, like, there's a trophy that you can get for doing, like, the fully charged slash a certain amount of times in a boss fight. I've seen a lot of people actually do that with this boss, and what you just saw there was a perfect parry, which means that you parry, like, right before, like, just like a microsecond before the boss would have hit you, giving you an open chance to deal a lot more damage.
I'm sure it was a perfect carry, but the frame rate kind of died there during it.
It, like, what it means is, like, the boss suddenly becomes orange or something for a second, and then you can
It's basically the
you can
same
do a
effect that would happen if you hit them with a charge slash.
yeah, the same as that, except it just happens on a whim.
Fuck that wall.
Yeah. Yeah, this boss in a nutshell.
Use the next wall while you're at it.
And then the boss just did my job for me with that giant laser.
This might as well just be a renovation.
Yes.
Can you fall off the ledge, by the way?
Yeah, you can dash off the edge. You can't walk off the edge.
You can actually do that here. You can dash off the middle. I don't think you can do it at the edge of the circle.
No, you can do it at the edge. I'm gonna show that off really stupidly later.
Oh.
Okay. So that's essentially a ring out. Okay.
No, it just like you get knocked
just
out of the
takes, like, a
arena, and
square off your health.
it takes off 1 piece of HP.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't penalize you that.
Also, something that I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to get that hit the boss 10 times with a charge slash in a single fight without getting KO'd thing.
I can tell you're being immensely greedy about it.
You're like picking all of your fights.
Yeah.
I fully expected you to go full ham at one point. You're just sitting there just being like, okay, wait, run up.
That is the entire game in a compact nutshell.
Fair.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's the entire game after like the third boss.
Yeah, I'd say so as well.
The third boss.
Actually, no, the third boss.
The third boss is just like, okay, now you actually have to get serious.
That boss 3 is
He-
the worst.
He is my least favorite because of the RNG-esque
Okay, so this
bullets.
basically is bullet. Okay, so this basically does bullet Toho then. The first 2 bosses are pissy. When we get to the third boss.
The third one is just a lot of bullets, but the first phase is ridiculously easy when you're patient.
It's just-
Remind me that I
The first time was kind of just tedious. We'll get there when we get there.
Remind me that I need to show you guys either Perpetrated Blossom or Embarrassing Life.
We'll keep that in mind. Right now,
I'll hold you to that. I'll hold you to that. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna keep hitting the boss with charge slashes.
I was thinking you guys videos later for the time being. Charge slash blossom.
Yay.
What's a gun?
With those charge slashes.
And I am doing that repeated attack a lot.
I mean, I like the snazzy animation, but it's getting
How many times have you not heard
It's
that?
getting repetitive.
Also, what just happened there?
I don't know.
I messed up the inputs.
You like zigzagged around them.
I messed up the inputs. By the way, the boss is gonna change strategy again. Now they can move with their legs instead of that giant wheel.
Oh, wait, she couldn't go for real? Oh, she got for real. Oh.
Off she goes.
You know what? I said that the strap.
Also, now in this fight, I have to search for the boss.
I'm getting Metal
This is the only time you have to do that.
I'm getting Metal Gear Solid flashbacks to the end, by the way. There she is. And she is gonna blast you away.
No, this is one of those instant attacks where you have to move both of the analog sticks at the same time to avoid getting hit or hit back.
Okay.
It's something that only happens with certain attacks at certain boss fights.
You
Like-
take bullets to the face and pound it down.
Yeah, that's because remote play.
It builds character.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed.
Aaron carries a trait.
Yeah. Also, that boss deflected my charge
It's
slash.
a feature.
Oh, I mean, I trusted her with deflecting. We've done it to her like 20 times.
Also, I think this is where I dash off the edge accidentally.
Oh, I'm fully waiting for it to happen.
Well, let's see it then.
Oh, don't worry, it'll happen at some
We're
point.
doing a lot of dashes. And it's getting really repetitive.
Yeah, I am sorry
See
for
ya.
that. That. Oh man, I almost did it again.
You're gonna learn eventually. Dashing at her is not a good idea.
But I'm gonna keep doing it.
You're gonna die.
No, I'm not gonna die.
I don't remember the last phase of this boss.
It's just a bunch of bullets and giant laser.
So
That sounds like this whole game.
so basically, what you're telling me is it's the last Bogart.
I have no idea what that is, and now that is something that I think is an unavoidable attack.
Blasted.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be. It looks like it could be avoided if you actually went in and attacked her.
No, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can avoid that attack unless you've seen it before and memorized the exact timing. Doesn't matter because it's final phase.
You know what? This fidget spinner.
Off topic, fidget spinners.
I bought this thing for like $5. Anyways, back on topic.
Anyway, final phase. There's gonna be a lot of bullets.
She just.
She is not. Like, okay, I think a little backstory, like, it's a bit implied, but, like, this boss has kind of been tortured mentally, like, throughout the entire time that she's been here, so she's, like, she's in misery, and, like, I'm gonna, like, you're just, like, you're doing her a favor at this point. Also, you're seeing those little shields when it zooms into the boss, that's because the boss is invulnerable during this time, and now I have to dodge a giant laser. By the way, it gets faster and faster. Also, inferior difficulty, there is a shockwave along with the giant laser.
I'm gonna end up buying this. Wait, how much was this game?
$25. It was free on PS Plus, so that's how I initially was introduced to the game.
Back in August of 16, if I remember correctly.
Also, I'm gonna show this off. I'm gonna make the boss repeatedly shoot a laser in one direction.
Yes.
And then immediately get
And it's over.
And boss is done, and that is almost the entire part over. We've just got a minute left. And now in a cutscene. Yeah, that did not feel very long, did it?
Well, the fact of the matter is, what's gonna happen?
You're gonna throw her in there. Rather right.
It looks like her entire mind's broken at this point.
Yeah, so that's a favor.
With how animalistic she's been, yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I like about this game. Like, each time you face a boss, it kind of tells its own story. With, like, the boss's attacks and patterns and all that. It just tells, like, who they are, what their motives are, or whether they're just completely insane. Especially if they talk during the fight, because that does add in a bit more backstory.
I'd say the mid-tier bosses have the more interesting backstory.
Yeah, the mid-tier bosses. Like, the one after this, the third boss, doesn't really have an interesting backstory. He's just the guy with a gimmick, and that's really all there is.
4, 5, and 6 have the most interesting backstories to them.
I think the 7th one isn't really backstory, it's just, like, character. But
But
I'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get there.
I just realized the parts about to end. It start coming up with any parts.
Or maybe not.
If we ever go into post video,
Well, off he goes.
And in through the door, and the video, and this part's over.
And it's
Thanks
over.
for watching. See you guys for part 2.
Later.